There's a number most people on a fixed income never run, and it's the difference between a homestead that pays you and one that quietly drains your savings account every single month. Some animals on a small property will hand you money back year after year with almost no labor, and some, three in particular, look harmless, even charming, right up until the vet bill arrives, or the feed truck, or the winter. If you're over 65 and thinking about livestock, the next 12 minutes could save you thousands of dollars. We're doing the 5 that pay for themselves first, then the 3 nobody warns you about. Stay until the end. Number 3 on the bankrupt list is the one almost everyone gets wrong. Let's start with the winners, ranked by return on the smallest amount of work.
Number 5. Rabbits. Not the pet kind, the quiet, efficient kind. Here's why they earn their keep. A breeding trio costs you almost nothing to feed compared to anything with 4 stomachs. They reproduce fast. They're silent, your neighbors won't even know. And their droppings are the only manure you can put straight onto a garden without aging it first. That alone replaces fertilizer you'd otherwise buy by the bag. For a senior, the real win is the labor. No heavy lifting, no chasing. You can manage a small rabbitry from a seated position. The math works out to a few $100s a year in meat or stock sales against feed costs you could cover with a part-time garden. Low ceiling, but almost no floor. You will not lose money on rabbits.
Number 4. Ducks. And I'd argue they out-earn chickens in ways nobody talks about. Duck eggs sell for more. Bakers pay a premium for them. And at a farmer's market, you can charge $1 or more per egg over what hens fetch. Ducks lay reliably through cold weather when your chickens have quit for the season. And they handle your pest problem for free. Slugs, beetles, the things eating your vegetables, which means you're saving on the garden side too. They're hardier than chickens, rarely sick, and they don't scratch your beds to ruin. The one catch? They need water to dip their heads. A cheap tub solves it. For the return, ducks are one of the most underrated animals a senior can keep.
Number 3. Laying hens. The classic, and still one of the best if you keep the flock small. The mistake seniors make is going too big. You don't need 40 birds. 6 to 10 good layers will hand you more eggs than you can eat, and the surplus sells itself. A roadside sign and an honest dozen will move every week without you lifting a finger to advertise. Here's the ROI reality. A hen costs a few dollars a month to feed and gives you around 250 eggs a year. At local prices, a small flock can clear several $100s annually after feed. Not life-changing, but it's steady, it's easy, and it pays for the feed of every other animal on this list. Keep it small, and hens are pure profit.
Number 2 might surprise you. Bees. I know, sting, suits, the fear factor. But hear the math out. Once a hive is established, it is the lowest labor income on a homestead. You are not feeding them daily. You are not cleaning up after them. They forage for free across your neighbor's yards for a mile in every direction. And they hand you a product that sells for $10, $12, $15 a jar. A single healthy hive can produce 30 to 60 pounds of surplus honey a year. Do that across 2 or 3 hives, and you're looking at real money for maybe an hour of work a week in season. The startup cost is the barrier, but it's a one-time cost, and the bees pollinate your entire garden as a bonus. For a senior who wants income without daily chores, bees are hard to beat. And number 1, the highest return of all, if you're up for a little daily routine, one good dairy goat. A miniature breed, not a full-size animal. Here's why it tops the list. A single U.S. dwarf gives you a quart or 2 of milk a day on a tiny footprint and a small feed bill. But the milk isn't where the money is. The products are. Goat milk soap, lotion, cheese. A $4 bar of handmade soap costs you under $1 to make. That's where homesteaders turn a backyard animal into 4-figure annual income. The trade-off is honest. A milking goat needs you twice a day, every day. If your knees and your schedule can handle that, nothing on a small property returns more per square foot. If they can't, go back to the bees. But the ceiling here is the highest on the list.
So those are the 5 that pay you back. But here's the part that matters more. Because losing money hurts worse than earning it feels good. These next 3 animals are the ones that quietly bankrupt people after 65. They are not bad animals. They are bad investments for someone on a fixed income and a fixed amount of energy. Number 3 is the one that gets nearly everybody. Drain number 3, and the one almost everyone underestimates, a full-size cow. The dream is understandable. Your own milk, your own beef, independence. But run the real numbers. One cow eats roughly its body weight in forage every month. Through a single winter, you're buying ton after ton of hay at prices that climb every year. That's before water hauling in freezing weather, before fencing strong enough to hold half a ton of animal, before a single vet visit, and large animal vets charge large animal prices. For a senior, there's a second cost that doesn't show up on a spreadsheet: the body. Hauling water and hay through ice is how people your age end up injured. A cow doesn't just risk your budget, it risks you. If you want dairy, that one little goat from earlier does it for a fraction of the feed, the labor, and the danger. The full-size cow is a young person's animal.
Jerome number 2, pigs. Everyone repeats the same line. Pigs are easy. Pigs eat your scraps. Pigs basically raise themselves. Here's what they leave out. A pig grows to slaughter weight in months, and to do it, it eats constantly. Unless you have a steady, free source of food waste, and most people don't, you are buying commercial feed by the truckload, and feed is the single biggest cost in raising any animal. Then there's the destruction. Pigs root. They will turn a pen into a mud pit and tear through fencing that would hold a cow. Repairing that, again and again, is physical work, and the day of processing is heavy, messy, and not something most people over 65 can or want to do alone, which means paying someone, which eats the rest of your margin. Pigs can pay off for the right person with the right setup. For a senior scaling down, they're a money pit dressed up as a bargain. And the number one animal quietly bankrupting seniors: sheep. This one stings because they seem so gentle and so easy. The truth is the opposite. Start with the old myth that wool pays. It doesn't, not anymore. Shearing a small flock often costs you more to hire out than the wool is worth, so your supposed product is actually an annual expense.
Then there's the rule every shepherd learns the hard way. Sheep spend their lives looking for a way to die. They're prone to parasites, to foot rot, to flipping onto their backs and not getting up. That means constant monitoring, regular hoof trimming bent over at the waist, and a deworming schedule you cannot skip. It is relentless, physical, detail-heavy work. Exactly the kind that gets harder every year past 65. And they need protection. A single loose dog or coyote can wipe out a flock in one night, which pushes people toward livestock guardian animals. Another mouth, another cost. Sheep punish inattention, and they punish bodies that can't keep up. For a senior, they are the easiest way on this entire list to lose money and get hurt doing it. So here's the whole thing in one breath. If you're building a homestead that's supposed to pay you, not the feed store, start small and start smart. Rabbits, ducks, a tidy flock of hens, a couple of beehives, and if you've got the routine in you, one little dairy goat. Quiet money, light on the body, and almost impossible to lose on. And the cow, the pigs, the sheep? Beautiful animals. Wrong investment for this season of your life. There's no shame in choosing the version of this dream that keeps your savings and your back intact. That's not scaling down. That's getting smart. If this saved you from one expensive mistake, do me a favor, subscribe, because the next one breaks down exactly how much a small backyard flock really earns in a year, with real numbers. I'll see you there.